Boeing 707 flies for the very first time Mackinac Bridge, which I'm not sure if it's been surpassed, but it was the world's largest suspension bridge which connected Michigan's two peninsulas. The year is 1957, and this was Dodge's answer to the Chevy Cameo. But before getting into all of it, I'm Jay. Welcome to What It's Like. On this channel, we make it a point to cover the cars that don't often get talked about. We cover the classics, vintage, some exotics, lots of orphan cars, and cars that are frankly being forgotten. We talk history, specs, design of these rolling works of art. If that sounds like a channel, nay, a community that sounds of interest to you, subscribe and hit the bell icon next to it to never miss a video. This absolutely stunning 1957 Dodge sweptside was auctioned off at Mecum auction just this past week in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. 1957 Dodge model lineup. You had the Cornet, Royal, Custom Royal, wagons, and then Dodge had their truck line rating from a half-ton all the way up to the big commercial. Dodge introduced its sweptside pickup truck to compete with both the Ford Ranchero, which came out in 57, and the Chevy Cameo. But to be honest, the Ford is kind of sort of in a different league because it's car-based, whereas the sweptside and Cameo are truck-based. All the sweptside truck really was Virgil Exner waving his magic forward look wand over the Dodge design, giving it fins. The fins were actually sourced from the two-door 1957 Dodge Suburban wagon. The tailgate had to be cut down to fit in between the two ends. Also uses the same light. Pretty much the whole rear quarter design of the 57 Dodge Suburban can be found on the sweptside pickup truck. Sweptside trucks came standard with the custom cab, which included glove box, two-tone seat, rubber seat cushions, two sun visors, wraparound rear window, and two-speed windshield wipers. Exterior features included but not limited to chrome trim and embellishments, two-tone paint, full wheel covers, and white wall tires. Dodge would offer the sweptside from 1957 to 1959. 1957 was a big year for Dodge with the introduction of power steering, power brakes, 3-speed automatic, and 12-volt electrical system. So let's compare all three sweptsides. 1957 on top, 58 in the middle, 59 on the bottom, starting in the front. So looking at these three totally different designs, 57 is the only one with single headlights. 57 has petite bumpers that are only found on the front of the truck versus the 58 and 59 big bumpers that also wrap around to the overhang section in the front of the wheels. Main grille on the 57 is on the bottom, and it switches after 58, goes to the top with a small hole at the bottom. Cabs all look very similar in size, pilot cab style. Look at how different the badging is as well as the front fascia design, completely different. Moving to the side profile, better look at the front bumper situation and how they are designed. 57 is slightly curved. Also look at how smooth the body design is on the 57 versus the other two. Wheel wells are curved more on the 57. They get longer on the 58 and 59. Gas filler placement is the same. The 59 image is just flipped, but the gas tank is under the driver's seat in relationship to the gas filler nozzle. 57 and 58 have small running boards that are not found on the 59. Interestingly, is the rear section. They all look the same. Some people didn't like the design because of the paint lines. It would peak in the center, giving the illusion that the bed was falling off the truck. See what I mean? Moving to the rear section, the lights are different. Domed lights on the 57 versus coned lights on the 59. Aside from that, everything looks very similar. Bumpers, tailgate, light bezels. Moving inside to take a gander at the interior. Looking at the interior is completely different. Which do you like better in the comment section below? Moving on to specs. And for some reason, Dodge is a really hard company to get specs for. You wouldn't think that they would be like that, but they are. 116 inches is the wheelbase that it rides on. It weighs 3,250 pounds. Price $2,200, which is equivalent to you spending $23,887.54 in the year 2023. Total 57 Dodge across the car line, and everything was 257,488 units. Total swept side truck, and I'm talking 1957 through 1959. 1,260 units, of which 180 were made in 1957. Only 75 are known to survive. 200 of the total 1,260 are known to survive. And it all makes sense now why these things cost a fortune, because none of them really survived. Two engines on offer. You had the 230 cubic inch displacement inline six flathead. Yes, you heard that right. It's 1957 and Dodge is still offering a flathead six, 3.8 liters. Some sources say that this engine would make 120 horsepower. Other sources said 138 horsepower at 4,000 RPM, 213 pound-feet of torque at 2,000 RPM. Bore of 3.3 inches and a stroke of 4.6 inches. Compression 8-to-1. Featured 4 main bearings. You could get that engine, or as an option, you could get 315 cubic inch displacement polyhead V8, 5.2 liters. It was good for 204 horsepower at 4,400 RPM, 330 pound-feet of torque at 2,200 RPM, which is an estimate. Bore of 3.6 inches and a stroke of 3.8 inches. Compression was 8-to-1. Now, it's important to note that Dodge offered the swept side alongside their regular pickup truck offering. So yes, they didn't sell that many of the swept side trucks, but they did sell a lot of regular trucks. So let's talk styling. Just look at the different colors. I absolutely love teal and white together. It's a very nice two-tone color scheme. Look at how these headlights are recessed in these like little hood. That's pretty cool. Turn signal indicators. Check out these bumpers. Nice Dodge script on the nose of the car. Truck, I should say. There's a nice center line here. Just look at how pronounced this hood section is. Coming down the side, just look at how smooth everything is. It has this strip molding that runs the belt line of the truck. The wheel wells are flared. Look at the running boards. Look how small they are. Here's my hand for reference. Has a wraparound windshield, suicide wipers or unopposing wipers, and a cowl vent. Look at this bead at the top. It does have drip rails. Also notice the rear window, it curves. It's really cool. But the coolest thing about this truck is the bed. Just look at all of the bright work going on. I love the two-tone colors. The wheel well does flare out back here, but this is the piece of resistance right here. I absolutely love these fins and this light situation. Look at the rear bumpers and how they are designed. It has this little step pad if you wanted to step here to get inside, or better yet, that's probably for the tailgate so it doesn't scratch the chrome when it comes down. But just take a look at this bed. Look at how deep it is. Look at the mirror placement and just the design of that mirror. Also, this truck has vent windows. Door handle to get in is the same exact door handle they use on the cars. It's all framed out. Here's what the door panel looks like, but notice this is all the wider the door opens. So that's very interesting. Armrest. Also, you could use this to pull the door shut. Door handle to get out. Window crank for the big window. It operates like that. This one has a bit of a dog leg, but nothing drastic. Interior. Here's what over the hood looks like. Here's what first person over the hood looks like. There's lots of space in this cab. Just look around. On to the button switches and knobs. Starting on the left and moving right, push buttons for the automatic transmission. This one has a 3-speed automatic unit. They also offered a 2-speed automatic unit as well as a 3-speed manual. Neutral, reverse, first, second, drive. Right underneath it, there's an A. I'm guessing that is for air vent, throttle control, like hand throttle, heat, and defrost. Oil pressure, coolant temperature gauge, amp meter, gasoline gauge, speedometer with odometer at the top, glove box, headlights, key, and ignition. Taking a real quick gander under the hood, this one is equipped with the 230 Flathead 6. Look at the radiator placement. External oil filtration. The 230 looks small in this engine compartment, but everything looks accessible. On the positive side, great investment. Super rare. This has a huge cab with great visibility, wraparound rear window. These are different. Against it, rust is always a threat. Mopar didn't have the steel that GM and Ford had. I've heard stories where these rusted on dealership lots. Parts are hard to come by. All right, now it's time for Would You Rather. 2 scenarios today. In the first scenario, would you rather have a 1957 Dodge sweptside pickup truck or a 1958 Dodge sweptside pickup truck or a 1959 Dodge sweptside pickup truck? I'm going to leave this here for a minute. If you need more time, feel free, pause the video. Moving on to the second scenario, 1957 Chevy Cameo or 1957 Dodge sweptside or 1957 Ford Ranchero. Once again, I'm going to leave this here for a minute. If you need more time, feel free, pause the video. Now it's time for Name That Tune. First person to give the name of the band and the song title correctly in the comment section will have their comment pinned to the top of it. Thank you all so much for coming out and watching this. If you'd like to get in touch with me, shoot me a comment in the comment section below or check out our Facebook group that correlates with this YouTube channel. Don't have Facebook and would like to reach me, send me an email. All of that information will be linked in the description below. Just know I appreciate all of the support, and until next time, toodaloo!